The dawn of civilization. Primitive. Dangerous. Exciting. The handwriting is on the wall. If the human race is ever going to amount to anything, it needs
the most civilized caveman I have ever seen.
Look who's come out of his cave.
Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. This is James from Cave Dweller Music. I am joined by my co-host Brendan, and today we have Tim and Josh from Paroxysmal Butchering, who have recently rebranded as Paroxysmal. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for coming on. Great to have you.
Thank you guys very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. Glad to be on here.
Do you want to maybe just tell people a little bit about what you do in the band and sort of what the band's about if they don't know your music?
Absolutely. My name is Tim. I am the vocalist. I write the guitars and I program the drums, and I've started actually writing the bass for some of the material. And we play brutal death metal mostly. We incorporate a lot of different styles into it, but for saving time, we play brutal death metal. And Josh, you want to jump in or?
Yeah, sure. So Tim had the band since like 2007. It was mostly just him until like 2011. That's when he met up with me and I joined the band. Well, actually, he met up with me to record with me first. And I was like, you know what, this is pretty sick. I have a drummer if you want to start like a full band. And he was like, hell yeah. So yeah, we've been at it ever since. Awesome. I play guitar, and I do the producing.
Nice.
Yep. Just a quick question about your actual location. So it's listed as North County. Are you spread out kind of between the towns in North County? Or are you based in like Oceanside, Carlsbad? Whereabouts are you actually all based?
Right now, it's Fallbrook and Vista, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Fallbrook, Vista. I do San Marcos. That's where we have. Yeah, that's where I have my studio.
Oh, nice. Oh, so you have a studio as well. That's awesome.
Yeah, kind of. It's just my parents' garage. I call it a studio.
Okay. Is that just for the band stuff? Are you helping other people out as well, or?
No, actually, I've been recording a lot more bands there. Recently, I've recorded quite a few bands in that room, and people like it. People like what I do, and they keep coming back to me.
That's awesome. I feel like you kind of underplayed the whole thing with the parents' garage then.
Well, I have like 20 years of recording under my belt. So nice. I don't know. I feel like I've been around.
Hell yeah.
And people wouldn't do it if it sucked.
No, I can tell you as somebody who doesn't really have the best ear for sound quality, hearing the development of PB's sound from our first album to our fourth album, it's like, wow, Josh is fucking killing it doing this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying.
It definitely shows. You're right. You can definitely hear the difference between the early stuff and the newer stuff for sure.
Oh, thank you very much.
Of course. And then we kind of wanted to ask about that. Brendan, I know you had some questions about the evolution of the sound between the earlier albums and the later albums.
Yeah. I guess what was the catalyst from, stuff like, Human Smasher and, Supreme Revolution to Emlegada. Like that 2019 album, everything just seemed to get like more intense and technical and like longer and.
Yeah, when we did Supreme Revulsion, it was basically just I had written songs over like a couple year period, and I couldn't find any bandmates. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to record everything that I have, and that'll be my contribution to death metal. And that became Supreme Revulsion, right? And that's when Josh joined. And so I was like, oh, wow, so we can keep doing this. So then when I wrote Human Smasher, you could kind of hear the change. The first like 7 to 8 songs sound like Supreme Revulsion. And then after that, the sound kind of changes and gets a little more experimental. And that led into the Amygdala sound, where like it was really exploring the soundscapes that were being created. It wasn't just trying to write heavy music anymore. It was trying to write interesting music,
Right.
And that's what you see with the fourth album, is just more of that.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Like, you went from like 3 minute long songs to 6 minute long, 7 minute long songs. Like it's awesome. It's really good.
Hell yeah,
Yeah.
thank you very much.
Yeah, especially with his latest album, every song's like a journey. And
Hell yeah.
you get to the final song, and that's like our longest song. That song is fucking epic, and I can't wait for people to hear it.
Hell yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, we can't wait either.
What's up?
We can't wait to hear it either.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's kind of interesting because it seems to be sort of like a trend the last few years. There's a lot of bands that started as death grind or grindcore, straight up grindcore, who've become really boundary pushing, genre blurring, experimental stuff. So it's just interesting to see a lot of innovation in that grind sector where it used to be so straight cut.
Yeah, for sure. And a good example of that is Cattle Decapitation. When they first started out, they had songs that were like 30 seconds long and just straight up grindcore. And now look at them, they're like this epic band and they just like touch on everything.
Yeah.
And they've become so accessible as well. Like that's the thing. Like before there was such fringe music, and now they're one of the biggest bands in extreme metal.
Yeah, for sure. It's crazy, and makes us kind of proud that they're from San Diego.
Yeah, they never seem to play here though. I noticed. Like I've been here a couple of years and I haven't really seen any shows from them.
I think we played recently.
We played a couple times with them out here, but I think it's one of those things. It's like Slayer with LA, where it's like if they could play somewhere else, they'd rather play where they haven't played a million times.
Right.
Yeah.
It may be more me though. Maybe it's the fact that they don't have to push it as much because it's kind of known locally. So I don't see like the advertising for it. So maybe I just miss it every time. Because I feel the same way about Author and Punisher. I'm finally seeing him next month, and I've been trying to see him for like 2 years, and he's San Diego based.
Huh.
I've heard that name before. I don't remember where though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I know. Yeah.
He's one of the big up and comers right now. He's been up and coming for a while, but the last album of his like really did well. Like I saw basically like every review site giving it like super high praise. So it's kind of broken
badass.
through now. Yeah.
What kind of industrial is it?
Invented his own like sound machine kind of thing too.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's an engineer, so he built his own equipment. It's the sort of like buyer side of industrial, so it's not like the EBM stuff. It's more of like the harsh, like a lot of like feedback and noise and stuff, harsh vocals.
I love that shit.
Me too. But the latest album, he actually went with like a space theme, and it was like about exploring another planet, and he went like a kind of different sound to his other stuff. So yeah, check it out and see what you think. It's all good. It's all different though.
That sounds fucking sick. I especially like when bands go into the space theme.
Yeah, I love that too.
I'm telling Tim right now because Tim has all this music written. He has like albums and albums just written and just waiting to record, right? Well, so we're done with our fourth album. The next one's we're about to start recording, but the sixth album sounds pretty out there, and I keep telling Tim this sounds like Paroxysmal in space. Like this is like yeah, like it sounds like fucking futuristic.
That's awesome.
We're probably a couple years away from releasing that, but yeah, that's like I was listening to that shit at work today, just like the guitar profiles, and like, man, this is sick.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You guys kind of have like the next few years mapped out then, I guess, with album releases.
Oh yeah. Paroxysmal 5, Antoine de Mela is a lot more death grind. It goes back to the Supreme Revulsion sound. It's like if Force Feeder and Supreme Revulsion created an album. It's got the kind of technical prowess of Force Feeder, but it's a lot more like beat you over the head like Supreme Revulsion.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah. And then the sixth album that Josh was talking about, Lifeless Origins, that's the Paroxysmal in space. That's like our tech album.
Yeah. You could always go with that title.
Yeah. Or like a tagline, whatever you call that shit.
Yeah.
So I guess obviously you've changed the sound, but who sort of inspired the new direction? Like what bands were you kind of drawing inspiration from for that the new direction?
I don't listen to a lot of death metal for my inspiration, oddly enough.
Interesting.
The last two albums, I was listening to a lot of Oingo Boingo.
Really? Awesome.
And I think it opened up my mind musically, where I wasn't so held within a rigid structure saying this is what the music's supposed to sound like. It's like Oingo Boingo has that ability to make circus music sound cool. It's like it's the more you listen to that band, you're like, man, these guys are serious musicians. And I got really, really into it, and it just really influenced the writing of Amygdala and then subsequently Force Feeder.
How weird is it, by the way, on the topic of Oingo Boingo, that Danny Elfman became like what he is to the film industry out of Oingo Boingo?
That was because of Tim Burton. I was watching the master class with Danny Elfman, and he said that Tim Burton's people contacted Danny Elfman's people and said, hey, like, we want you to score this movie about Pee Wee Herman. And he's like, I never scored a movie. What are you talking about? And that kickstarted his career.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I remember seeing it because have you seen that series on Netflix about like the making of movies, like the behind the scenes thing about how they almost didn't happen type thing? I try to remember what it's called. There's a horror version of it. There's a regular like action movie. There's a like a Christmas version, and they look at different movies and tell the backstory about how they got created. And like so many of those movies that are like iconic classics were almost not made for like just a myriad of bizarre reasons. But The Night Before Christmas was one of the ones that like they had about 15 different points where it didn't happen. And Danny Elfman coming on as like the soundtrack person was like a big part of the change up that actually made it end up happening. So basically, the same time as he was making Night Before Christmas, Tim Burton got brought on to do Batman. I can't remember which one. I think it might be is it Returns? Batman Returns, I want to say. One of those 90s ones.
Yeah, I think that came out like 93 around the same time.
And he just ditched his whole team with Night Before Christmas and goes, you guys got this. And then just went and made Batman. And all he'd done was like basically like a really rough outline of the concept of the movie. And that was it. And then he basically like brought Danny Elfman on and said, you write the music. So Danny Elfman made the music before the actual movie was made. And then they made the movie around Danny Elfman's songs from memory.
Damn.
Yeah, he was saying that like that Tim Burton was like, oh, and here stuff happens. And stuff happens here.
Exactly. Yeah. He literally was like, here's some rough ideas, make a movie for me. And then he just came back from Batman. He's like, is it done? They're like, yeah, it's done. He's like, sweet. And then he slapped his name on it and it became Night Before Christmas.
God damn, that's crazy, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To be able to do that, just like, give an artist like a theme and they'll just like fucking go along with it and create something that'll match it. It's insane.
Exactly. They did. The ultimate iteration that we ended up seeing, they scrapped it like multiple times from memory, and then like it ended up the final form becoming what it was in the end. And they were really not sure if it was going to flop or not because it was so out there at the time.
Wow. Yeah, I remember I wanted to see that movie so bad, and my dad took me when I was a kid. Everyone was like, I remember the people in box office were telling my dad, oh my God, it's so boring and all this stuff. And I was like, what? And anyway, we saw the movie. I fucking loved it. My dad hated it. He fell asleep.
I loved it too. That was one of my favorites as a kid. And just the sheer technical aspect of making that stop motion is like insanity.
I know, dude.
That's tedious.
Yeah, you got to have a lot of patience for that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys heard of the movie Mad God?
Mm-mm.
It's a stop motion movie that took 20 years to make. Or it might have been 30 even. And it was made by the dude who did all the stop motion effects for Star Wars and Jurassic Park. And he made this like absolute like hellscape nightmare fuel stop motion movie about this guy's descent into hell. And it's just batshit crazy.
Is it a good movie at least?
Yeah, it is good. It's like super unsettling in a lot of parts. It's like there isn't really much of a storyline. You're mostly just watching it for the insane visuals. But it's a wild ride.
Came out last June.
It did.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, finally finished it after like decades of making it.
There's a couple movies like that, huh? Like I think Val Kilmer made a documentary that was like took like 20
Oh.
years to make, right?
Yeah.
What was it
Shit.
about?
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
It's about himself, I think.
Yeah.
A Day in the Life. I haven't seen it either, but I assume that's what it is.
Oh yeah, there you go. It's just called Val, and it came out in 2021, and it came out on Netflix.
I always remember it's like The Salton Sea and stuff like that. It was a good movie.
I remember him as Batman.
Yeah.
Batman's good.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I had a weird ass dream one time that Val Kilmer lived in my house, and he was in charge of telling people which restroom they could use.
Oh, that's funny.
I think that's one of the best dreams I ever had.
That's awesome.
What was the one he was a spy and he was like stealing like the plans for some kind of like
Top secret.
fuel?
That dude's been around for a long time. You're gonna have to go back through quite a list.
Yeah, he was in Heat.
Yeah,
That movie Heat. That's a badass movie.
he was great.
Batman
in the
Forever
Doors
was the Val
movie.
Kilmer one.
The Saint.
Oh yeah, The Saint.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. That was a good one.
I think I was 10 when that came out, and when I saw it, I didn't really know what was going on.
Yeah, I was in like 7th grade.
Batman.
So I had a specific question for North County people. Are you guys stoked that you have a Dutch Bros and no one else in San Diego does?
I haven't been there yet, but yeah, it's right by my boss's house. So he said he's going to bring me some.
It's good, by the way. I used to live in Oregon. It's actually an Oregon company, and this is the first store in this whole area in like the whole of Southern California, I think. Definitely check it out. If you guys, I don't know if you guys drink energy drinks or anything, but they have a thing called Rebels, and they are like absolutely awesome. They're like a energy drink mixed with a bunch of other stuff, and they're like delicious.
Ooh.
That sounds crazy. So it's like a coffee shop, and they just specialize in crazy drinks like that.
Well, yeah, it's a coffee shop and like Starbucks type thing, but they have a bunch of other stuff too. So they do like a bunch of they do smoothies. They've got like energy drink mixtures. They've got a bunch of stuff, and it's all like phenomenal. The coffee is like really friggin' good too.
What about pastries?
They do have some pastries. They have really good muffin tops.
Oh hell yeah! Yeah, that's my
Muffin
shit.
tops.
The only thing that you have to be cautious of is that their business model is that their staff are like aggressively friendly and happy. That's the whole thing. So if you're in a bad mood, it's not the best place to go for food because they'll be like, "Hey, how are you? How's your day going? Oh my god!" I'm like, "Oh, dude, it's like 6 a.m. I need like coffee."
Oh my god! You know what I appreciate?
Like, are you mocking me?
I know, dude. That's how I feel when I go these places, and they're like overly like fake energetic, you know. And I'm like,
Yeah.
man, just if you treated me like shit, I would feel better.
It's like, could you just hand me the drink?
Yeah.
One time, back in 2013, we were on tour and we were out in Vegas, and it was just a horrible experience. And this lady matched my energy so hard, I was going nuts. I wanted to order this thing called a sunwich. It was just a breakfast sandwich. I'd gotten it every morning that we were there. And we had these free vouchers from the hotel because something had happened and it was like free breakfast on us, you know? And so I go over and I order my sunwich, and she says, she's just kind of being like belligerent. So I'm being belligerent back to her. And our drummer Nacho, Josh can attest to this, is a very like even keel guy. He's not gonna rattle the cage, you know.
Yeah.
And so he's trying to like maintain good vibes, and me and this lady are getting into it. And so after all this noise, I hand her my slip for the sunwich, and she goes, "These are no good here." And I'm like, "Oh my god!" So I'm like, "Fine, just give me the sunwich." It's after 10. We're not serving it anymore.
What?
I wanted to blow up on this woman. I was like flipping out. Nacho's like, "Tim, go sit down. Go sit down now." And so he uses his nacho charm and gets the sandwich, but I was just fuming. So it doesn't always work when people are genuine with you, because sometimes it just makes you even madder.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a fine balance between like being real and being awful as a customer service person.
But being really awful.
Yeah. Well, it's like when I used to work in customer service in college, obviously, all that stuff, and like when you ask people like, "How's your day going?" and they give you an honest answer, you're like, "I really didn't want that." Like,
I know.
it's like, they're like, "How's your day?" Like, "Yeah, not good." I'm like, just say fine. Like everyone else says fine, even if you're having the worst day ever. Like, I would never tell a customer service person about my problems. I just be like, "Yeah, that's it's not bad." I could be like diagnosed with cancer that morning. I'll still be like, "Yeah, my day's fine."
Yeah. I mean, there are languages that have developed ways around this problem that English seems to suffer with, which is like the plague of small talk. You look at like Mandarin and you say ni hao, and it's like, hi, how are you? You say ni hao ma, and it's like, hi, how are you? And if you say ni hao ma, you're telling them like, hey, go ahead and talk to me. But if you just say ni hao, it's like, yeah, just say hi to me and keep walking.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to work in customer service as well. I worked like 10 years at the movie theater. Dude, I got so many crazy stories from working there. It's insane kind of shit that happens at a movie theater, man.
I believe it. I've seen some crazy. I've been at multiple different theaters where police have been brought in during the movie and removed people and stuff. So yeah.
Oh my God, I was probably that sounds very familiar. You were probably in my theater when that happened. Yeah, we had to kick out this guy for whatever reason. It was like during the Casino Royale movie. He was flipping out for no reason, just like kept yelling and cursing and stuff. And customers were complaining about him. So I tried to kick him out, and he just wasn't having it. He kept calling us a bunch of Nazis and all this stuff. And then, so we called the cops on him, and we had to turn off the movie.
Oh,
and we had the cops were trying to get him out of there, but he was like refusing to leave. And it got to the point where the cop he busted out his taser.
What?
And he pointed it at the guy, and he's like, "You're gonna get shot." So the guy, like, right away he got on the floor, and yeah, they took him out of there from there. But dude,
yeah,
Some
the kind of
people do.
stuff
It's
I've
like,
seen.
I don't get some people that go to movies and literally just talk through the whole thing, or like why are you even there? Go literally anywhere else and do that in the entire world.
Yeah.
No, it's there are those people out there that literally exist just to make things harder for other people. Like I worked customer service long enough to see it happen where I mean, I watched there was a girl, Crystal, when I worked at Target when I was younger, and she had a guy treating her nice and polite, orders his food from the little Food Avenue area, and then he walks over to the area where the soda is, makes a huge mess, looks her in the face and goes, "You're a woman, clean this up," and walks out.
Wow.
God damn.
For no reason. He was being so polite the entire time, and then just walked over and destroyed like the condiment area.
Wow,
damn.
dude.
What was the point of that?
I don't know. It's a whole "some men want to watch the world burn" thing.
Exactly. It's just some people are just naturally rotten people.
I worked at Target, but during college, as many people do. And the two funniest experiences I had, one was this dude came up to the aisle, like the checkout with a bunch of DVDs. I scanned them through. I was like, "That'll be 45, 60, whatever." And he said, "No, it won't." And I said, "Yes, it will." He said, "No, it won't." And then he just grabbed the bag and ran out of the store.
Oh man.
And the other one was this person filled up a shopping cart with Easter eggs just after Easter. And I don't know why, but they thought like it was like one Easter egg was on sale in their whole shelf, and they took the whole shelf. They thought the whole shelf was on sale, and I told them it wasn't. Instead of like arguing, didn't say a word, just flipped the cart on its side and smashed every single one of the eggs,
What?
and then tried to walk out before security came and grabbed them. I was like, they just looked me dead in the eyes and just smashed this cart full of stuff, and in silence just walked out of the shop.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff happens everywhere.
How do we get off on this topic?
I have no idea. Brendan, do you want to bring it back home?
Yeah. Well, where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
Yeah. Where on earth can she be?
You guys from San Diego?
No, I'm outside of Hartford, Connecticut.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you're close.
I'm in Kearney Mesa,
Oh, okay, awesome.
not far from you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, about 30 minutes.
Yeah. As far as music goes, anything come out this year that you guys are appreciating?
Oh yeah. What? Oh my God. What is it? Josh, you go ahead. I gotta remember the name of this album. Oh,
You know
crap.
what? This year I've been working on so much music. I haven't had a chance to actually like sit down and enjoy music. So I haven't really been listening to much of anything really. Like most of my free time is just like recovering my ears.
It's on you, Tim.
What was the name of that album that you guys sent me? It's the it was a band from Switzerland.
Oh, yeah.
Colony.
No, they're from Germany. It was God, it's running this week on our site. The review wrote for it. Anachronism.
Yes.
Yeah, that is
That
very
band
good.
is amazing.
Yes.
That band's really good. And then on Saturday we played with Aetherius and the Hollowed Catharsis along with Last of Lucy. But the Hollowed Catharsis, those guys are something else. They are insane.
Yep,
Is
I
it
agree.
the Hollow Catharsis or Hell of Catharsis?
Hollowed Catharsis.
Hollows.
Hollowed.
Okay, cool. I'll check them out. I've never heard of them.
They're from Canada. They're amazing.
Nice.
Yeah, their stage show is like something else.
There was
So
just
they
so much
play.
intensity.
They were playing down here just on a tour or something, or
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so
nice.
much energy. These guys have so much energy. It's like, have you ever seen Origin live?
I haven't. It's unfortunate that I haven't.
Yeah, they're
but I haven't.
super energetic. Uh, I feel like Hollowed Catharsis had more energy.
Yeah. No, that's a band that in the next probably 5 years you're gonna see a lot more of.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
I definitely feel like it. Yeah.
I'll look them up right now.
Last year though, there were some releases that really caught my attention. One of my favorites was the new Soulfly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. I've been a fan of Soulfly ever since like their new metal days.
See, I was for a really long time. That I actually listened to everything they ever put out, and up until what was the album? I need to check that out because I lost. It's one of those bands I just kind of lost interest and I stopped checking out their new stuff. But Omen, right up until Omen, I listened to everything
Oh
they
yeah,
put out.
that was pretty good too.
It
Uh,
was. I like that one.
I saw Soulfly last year live. It's crazy because I was at a Modest Mouse show. I like
Nice.
all that. I like all that shit, right?
I love it too. Modest Mouse is great.
Yeah, so
You know,
I was at the Modest Mouse. Sorry, Tim. What are you gonna say?
oh no, I was gonna say I saw Modest Mouse live and I thought it was the oddest experience.
When did you see them?
It was at some weird like college God, probably like I can't remember how long ago. I want to say like maybe like 2015 or so. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But like they just broke down and set up every fucking song.
What?
So it wasn't like continuous music the entire time, and I'm just like so confused. I'm like, dude, what's the I don't know. I'd rather listen to him on a CD.
Yeah,
By
that's
the
how I
way,
felt too.
Soulfly is actually playing here in San Diego on March 31st for $27.
Oh goddamn. I need to go there.
It's at Barely Up.
Oh hell yeah, that's a good venue too.
It is. I like Barely Up.
But yeah, sorry, going back to my Modest Mouse story.
Yeah.
I was at the Modest Mouse show. Me and my wife were there, and that the same night, Soulfly was playing at the Brick by Brick in San Diego, and I was just keeping an eye on the time. I was like, we could probably like leave mid set, leave Modest Mouse's set halfway through and go check out Soulfly. And I was like, we're kind of up in the air about it. And I was like, I don't know, should we not? And then halfway through, like, I don't know, this Modest Mouse, they just weren't doing it for us live. So it was like, let's fucking get out of here. We went to the Soulfly show, got in, and right away, dude, I started moshing. Like, they, I think they played fuck, I'm pretty sure they even played Sepultura's Roots Bloody Roots.
Nice.
nice.
And yeah, everyone was losing their shit, dude. And I definitely mosh to that. I was like, yeah, this is a better show.
We got Brendan and I got really lucky at Maryland Death Fest, and we got to see
Oh, yeah.
Sepultura play with both Cavalera brothers.
Oh, sick.
And they did only their first, like their early stuff. So they literally just played. Which albums was it? It was.
I was gonna say I have the playlist. I set list. I think on my title. I gotta look it up.
It was two of the classic ones. It was Morbid Visions and Beneath the Remains. Beneath the Remains and Arise, just from those two albums.
Yeah.
It was pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, me and Tim saw Sepultura in like 2015 or so. That was sick.
Was that
Hate
with the
and Belphegor.
like,
Yeah, with Hate and Belphegor. That was an amazing show.
oh, Hate's awesome. I haven't seen them live, but I'd love to.
They were great. Oh my god, Hate's like on another level live. They're so good, and they make it look so effortless.
Yeah. And it's weird because like the singer's voice is so massive and he's such a small guy.
Is he? I haven't actually seen what he looks like. He does have a massive voice.
Yeah, he was like super skinny.
They kind of changed styles as well. Like their early stuff was like way more straight up death metal, and then they kind of went in that like blackened death metal direction. Like in the later albums, which I like both, but I think the earlier stuff was like super powerful and like super groovy.
Yeah.
I agree. I like both too, but I do like the later stuff.
Brendan, I just noticed the time. Did you have any of those questions you had lined up you wanted to fire off?
Yeah. So we were talking about food earlier. And would you rather have your functional decomposition sauteed or fried?
What? Functional decomposition?
Yeah.
He's making
some
it.
lyrics of yours.
He has children. It's a dad joke.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like this is a trick question.
It's all good. That was a total flop on a dad joke. It's all good.
I'll just cut it out and I'll cut it out afterwards.
That's all good. Julian pie. Can you tell me about this Julian pie I've heard about?
It's delicious pie.
All right, so Julian pie. Let me tell you something about that. If you go to Julian, there is a restaurant called Julian Pie, and everyone in Julian shits on that restaurant because the apples aren't even from Julian. Whereas like the other pie shops in Julian, like they're legit and they actually get their apples from where they live. But this is more like, I don't know, it's more of a front than anything. And it's sad because they're the most popular company and you could find them like at any store here in San Diego. Like you could pick up a pie. And I'm not gonna lie, they're really good. They're really good. But if you go to Julian and hit up the other pie shops, there's just no comparison.
Joshua Alvarado is a muckraking bastard. The Julian Pie Company is delicious. No, I'm just kidding. No, I completely agree. There's a place actually, if you're coming into Julian, like 5 to 10 miles out, where we go, and there's no line, and you get your pie and you leave, and it's the same pie, and it's delicious.
Oh, is that the place that's like it's down the hill? So you like go the back way out of Julian, and then you hit that T intersection, turn right, and there's that pie shop just off to the right there. That place, yes, that place is good.
Yeah, you just go there. You get the same pie, and it's just 2 hours less of your day gone. You know?
Yeah, the line at the Julian Pie Company's like the actual restaurant you were talking about is insane.
Yeah,
you can spend all day there.
It's like a souvenir pie. It's not even like, people just go there to say, I got the pie here. And it's like, yeah, we'll go down the street and get it, not stand in line.
Get it from where else.
Get it from where else, exactly.
Yeah, dude. What are the food things you got?
We got a contentious one here. So, what is the best place to get tacos in San Diego?
Ooh, what kind of tacos are we talking? Like street tacos or like birria?
Let's do both.
Ooh, yeah, I love birria.
Best place for each.
Okay, I'm gonna say that Birria El Padrino in Oceanside is like on another level for birria. And street tacos, you could just close your eyes and throw a rock and hit a good taco place in San Diego. I can't think of the best one.
Well, like I think the most well recognized taco shop we have here that has legit street tacos, and there's always a huge line to get them, is Tacos El Gordo in Chula Vista.
Okay.
And the pastor tacos there are out of this world. Like
Ooh.
they taste like tacos that you would get down in TJ.
Nice.
But that being said, tacos in TJ are on another level.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
confirm.
I don't know what it is, dude. You just cross the border and everything down there just tastes different.
Yeah, and they're like
People-
$1.50 as well.
But I don't know what it is, dude. It's everything down in TJ tastes better. The tacos, you go to any random taco stand and you're gonna score big time.
Margaritas too. You get like any margarita there is like just phenomenal. It costs you like $3.
Oh, really? Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm a beer drinker, but I do like margaritas.
I discovered margaritas after I moved to San Diego because they're substantially better here than a lot of the ones I had anywhere else. And then once I had them here, I had them in Mexico, and I was like, well, now everything else sucks. So it kind of ruined them for me. That is like one of the highlights of Cabo. If anyone's like, I know it's a tourist trap and stuff, but there's just so many good margarita bars that are dirt cheap.
Dude, I bet. I've never been down there, but I know like how much of a touristy area it is.
There's this place we went to where it was like, I swear it was like $5, and the margarita was like the size of my face, and it had like 4 shots in it,
God damn.
and it was like incredible, but also like got you very drunk. But it was like $5, and they keep pushing them on you because that's like how they make money. So they, do you want another one? Would you like another one? I'm like, dude, I've had like 16 shots in like the last 2 hours. Can you calm down?
I need some water.
Yeah. But there's
my
also
God.
like tequila tasting places there where they have like a lot of really cool ones. I've looked for them since I got back, and I can't find them at any of the stores here. So
I don't drink as much as I used to, but I got a funny ass story. I think it was Tim's birthday for when he turned like 30 or something. We went over to Stone Brewery.
Oh, the Wootstausen or whatever that shit.
Yeah.
Oh
This
no.
was like when the Woot Stouts were like kind of brand new. And it's this like super good stout, but it's like 15% alcohol.
Oh
and-
yeah.
oh,
Tim drank like 7 of those things and he was absolutely trashed. Like
Hammered.
I think that was the last time you were ever drunk. Huh.
It was one of the last times for sure, yeah.
Yeah. But that was a fun night. The server was like, "What's up?"
Oh no, I'm getting too old for this shit.
Yeah.
The server's like, whoa guys, I've never seen one table drink so many of these.
Yeah.
He was like concerned for us.
You kept bringing them.
Yeah, it's like I blame you.
Right.
You enabled me.
Do you remember, Tim, if I used my Dr. Bronner's discount for that night?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so we had this sweet hookup with Stone Brewery for a while because I work at Dr. Bronner's. It's like this organic soap company, right? And we had a
I
deal
use
with
it every day.
Oh, badass. Yeah, we had a deal with Stone Brewery where like, they get half off of our stuff and we get half off to their stuff. So we'd go there and like I get beers half off. So yeah, that night I paid for everything. Everything was like half, it was like $50 or something. And all of us had a good time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, on the taco note, have you guys tried their food? There's a couple of them, but the food trucks, Seafood La 57.
No.
I haven't.
It's in South Park, and it's always in the Target parking lot. And it's probably like, even like comparing to TJ and stuff, it's still some of the best seafood tacos I've had.
Ooh la la.
Have you been to the taco festival in San Diego?
I haven't, because I was out of town the last time they had it. But is it actually worth going to? Is it good?
Okay, so the trick with that is you go really early. Get there
Okay.
super early because once 2 o'clock comes around, I don't know what it is, people start getting drunk and really stupid, and then the tacos start running out. So
They run out of
Yeah.
tacos at the taco festival.
Yeah, so get there super early, eat your tacos, and then get out because it gets wild there.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll attend this year. It looks pretty cool. I always see the flyers and stuff. It's like 57 vendors or something like that. Crazy.
Yeah,
Damn.
dude. It's pretty cool. And the tacos, they're pretty cheap that day. So I remember
I
there was
remember-
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say, I remember going to Oakland, and it was like May. It was like San Francisco, right over the bridge, and there was like this little like gastro park. It was like a handful of food trucks, and there was like this little, like, it was just like a little gated spot just on the corner and like middle of kind of nowhere, and it was like so damn good.
dude, it's nothing like a good taco place.
Some of the best ones are those guys that let you sit up on the footpath outside bars and stuff. And like you're coming out like after a couple of drinks. So like, do you want a taco for $2? You're like, hell yeah, I want a taco for $2.
Yep.
I wish we had more of those here in San Diego. It's more like an LA thing, I feel like.
There's a couple places in North Park that have that.
Yeah, it's too bad that they're trying to get rid of them.
Are they?
Yeah, the street
Really?
vendors.
What's your favorite venue to play live in your city?
You know what, Tim? I have
Your
to
favorite venue to play live?
Till 2 Club now.
Really?
Nice.
Yeah, that's the shit right there.
That's a cool bar. I always like rip that place on this podcast.
Yeah. What about you, Tim?
I mean, that was a fun venue. Yet, like, I'm thinking it's probably gonna be. Yeah, I'd probably have to go with Till 2 as well at this point.
Yeah,
Nice.
Yeah.
yeah. Even though
Oh,
we've
yeah.
had some sketchy memories there.
Yeah.
Brendan, that's the one I always talk about that has the tiny, really low stage.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, the sound of there is really good, even though like all you can really do is mic up the kick drum and the snare. But the sound, like for whatever reason, it's really good in that place.
It is.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's what anyone that's been out that way said the same thing.
Yeah, for
Everyone
sure.
always says Casbah, Brick by Brick, and Two or Two are the ones that always come up.
Casbah's
Yeah.
really cool.
I like
Yeah.
Casbah a lot.
I've
Yeah.
never been to Casbah, and then Brick by Brick. What's his name? Colin? Is that the sound guy? Colin?
Yeah.
Yeah, my homie Colin. Yeah.
Hell yeah, that guy is a sound master. He makes bands sound freaking amazing.
He does.
Mhm.
He's very good.
Yes,
Yeah.
he is. I love working with that guy.
Yeah, we both studied audio engineering at Miracosta.
Well, there you have it.
Yeah.
Nice. What is your favorite city to play live?
Kingman, Arizona.
Yeah, definitely.
That place will lose its fucking mind for bands at our level, like small bands. You come in there,
Yeah.
they want to listen to you, they want to check out your merch, they want to buy your CDs, they want to tell their friends, like all the stuff you as a band tell someone to do on social media. Kingman, Arizona lives out. They tell all their friends about you.
Huh.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's the coolest freaking place to play. It's like everyone's your age, but they still have the enthusiasm of teenagers where it's like, oh man, I want to spread this around. I want to get everyone listening to this.
That's
Hell
awesome.
yeah.
Yeah.
We first played there in like 2012, and dude, everyone was super into our shit, and like I don't know, word spread around over there about us, and everyone in Kingman likes us.
Yeah.
Just well received. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's like our second home, honestly. We play there and it's like we're playing in front of a hometown crowd. They'll pack whatever place we play and they're just cheering the entire time. It feels like you're playing at a much larger concert than you are, but it's just the 50 people that are in attendance are making the noise of 200 people, you know.
Hell yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
yeah. I
I
feel like
gotta
we
try-
don't.
Catch a show out that way. That'd be fun.
Yeah, it's a super small town.
How far is that from San Diego drive-wise?
What, 6 hours? 5, 6
Yeah.
hours?
Okay.
Yeah, 6 hours.
That's
But
not bad.
I feel like San Diego probably has, I don't know, like the shows, if you were to take a show in San Diego versus a show in like Los Angeles or in Arizona, San Diego's like really tame. I don't know if you guys have experienced this, but I
It
feel like
is
yeah,
definitely.
like the people have more energy in Los Angeles and everywhere else. But yeah,
San Diego
it's
people kind of just go to the show and just enjoy the music. They don't really get into like the crowd too much, I've noticed.
exactly like I don't know what it is about us. We're just so low key.
Yeah, it's too chill. It's all the beer and all the weed.
Yeah, it's. I mean, you never really hear about crazy shit happening in San Diego. It's always some big city, like really, really big city.
Right, exactly. Yeah, no, it's like because Brick by Brick's probably like one of the biggest metal venues in town, and there's almost never like if there is a pit, it's like five dudes, and
Yeah,
they
yeah,
kind of and everyone else is just like smiling at them and watching them have a good time.
yeah. I last year I also saw Rob Zombie, and he admitted to the crowd, he's like, you know what they told me when we were booking this tour? They're like, oh, don't play San Diego. They just don't have it anymore. Everyone is telling
Oh,
him that, and he told that to the crowd, and everyone's like, boo. But it was funny, but it just goes it confirms what I'm talking about. Like,
like
you
it's a
know,
known thing.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
Interesting.
Yeah. But I mean, I love San Diego.
I do too.
Yeah. I love it
Greatest city in America.
because it's low key. I think that's why I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like definitely like one of the reasons I like living here compared to like LA or something. Everyone here is just super chill.
Exactly.
Yeah, you said that before. You're like you like living there. It's not as stressful.
Definitely. It's like everyone's like a little more laid back, a little bit easier going, less hustle bustle. It's starting to change though, even since I moved here, because all the LA people are moving down,
Yeah.
hmm Yeah, our
bringing
weather's
their
good.
yeah, weather's good and it's cheaper,
Yeah.
slightly.
It's
A
hard to
little
believe that
bit.
San Diego is cheaper than something, but yeah.
I know. Well, I think you can find cheaper in LA, just probably don't want to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Brendan,
And
you
then
got any others?
I was gonna ask, who did the artwork for Human Smasher?
It was an artist, a Russian artist named Stray Child.
All right.
Yeah.
And who found him?
It was by my love. I'm sorry, it was our record label at the time, Darren Jin, the guy who ran the label, was looking for art as well as we were, and he found that and said like, I want this to be your album cover. And it wasn't even really it wasn't even our say. It was kind of just like, this is the album art. And I was like, well, okay,
Alright.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I've had people tell me though that that's like their favorite album cover.
The
It's
colors. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh no. It's I was gonna say the colors, like all like it's just that it's weird. It's awesome. It's yeah.
Yeah, it's
Like the
different for sure.
skulls coming out of like his like face, or I don't know like, what is going on there. It's awesome.
My favorite album cover is Amygdala.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, Amygdala's album cover. That has a funny
That is
story.
really badass too.
Yeah, we're Tim, do you want to tell the story?
Yeah, okay, so we were at Knotfest, and I'm laying in the grass, and I look up, and this guy's walking on stilts, and so I snap a picture of him, and I look at it on my phone. I'm like, "That's our next album cover," and so I just edited the photo a bunch and kind of made it look distorted. And what we wound up doing is we found this artist on Instagram and basically just told her, hey, can you repaint this picture? And she did, and it became that orange and black album cover that you see. But it was just a picture of a guy on stilts.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Love
Yeah.
that.
And we decided I think it's because yeah, what happened was this a good homie of mine from work, he was in graphic design, and we had him working on our whole CD booklet and everything. And he was gonna put the logo on the cover with the title and everything. But yeah, he took his life in 2019.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And so yeah, it was really sad. And we're like, what do we do now? Like, we got to find someone good enough to finish this for us. And luckily, he was friends with Tony Cole, so Tony Cole put the rest of the booklet together. But we purposely left that album cover blank to kind of like represent that like unfinished work from our friend Marty.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's why that album cover doesn't have our logo on it or the title.
That makes sense now. I mean, it kind of looks good as it is anyway. Like I like it like that.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's what people are telling me too.
Yeah.
So obviously your daughter needs you. So we'll wrap it up quickly. But I have one more question for you, and it is going to be an ambush one.
Yeah.
If you were stranded on a desert island with a solar-powered Discman and 3 CDs, what would they be?
You want to go first, Josh, or you want me to go first?
You know what? I'll go first. Okay, so number one, I'm bringing along System of a Down, self-titled.
Nice.
Two, I'm a big new metal guy. Two is Korn's Issues.
Nice. That's my favorite Korn album.
Yeah, that's their best one.
Good choice.
Three, I don't know, dude. You know what album I like a lot? It took a while to grow on me. Is Tool's Lateralis.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah. When I first got that album when I was 12 years old, and I remember like the first year, because back when you're a kid, especially when the time we lived in, I didn't have money to buy albums, so I bought this because it looked cool.
Mhm.
And I didn't like it at first, but I just listened to it because I didn't have anything else to listen to, and that album just grew on me, and that became like a really meaningful album to me.
That's good.
Awesome.
No, what about you, Tim?
So I would go, number one would be Boingo Alive, just because the album itself is amazing. All the tracks on it are absolute bangers, but also the premise behind the album makes it so cool in that they didn't record a live album. They didn't do it in front of fans. They went on a soundstage and mic'd all their instruments and then just played their hearts out for like an hour and a half. And what you get is Boingo Alive. You get that album. And it's just such raw energy. Like you hear all the songs you love from that band, but just played with so much more energy than they recorded on the album.
Interesting.
Yeah, I would go with that. I would go with Joy Division, Unknown Pleasures, and I think I might also go with the System of a Down self-titled album. That album is like perfect from beginning to end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good album.
It was so wild when it came out.
Yeah, I can't think of a metal album that I like more than that album.
Yeah.
It took me a minute to get into that one because I started listening to him with Toxicity, which is so much more focused. And the first one's like so chaotic. They were the band that got me into metal, by the way. System of a Down.
Awesome.
Back when I was like 13.
Yeah.
And I started with Toxicity and then went back to that album. I was like, this is too crazy. I actually put it away on the shelf, like you said with like your Tool one. It was a grower.
Yeah.
And because that was a good point you raised. Like back in the day, you gave albums more than one chance because you spent money on it. You know what I mean? So like, I feel like people don't have albums growing them as much nowadays because a lot of people just move on to the next thing if they don't immediately like streaming what they hear.
Yeah. It sucks so bad too when you didn't have I didn't have the internet till I was like 15 years old, so I was able to like check stuff out, do research before buying an album. I just bought an album because the cover was cool.
Yeah, I definitely did that a lot back in the day as well. Go to the store and just pick up an album that looked sick.
A lot of misses, but I'd listen to it anyway.
Found two of my favorite bands that way.
I do that now buying vinyl sometimes because I go to like the Diggers Den area where it's like $1 to $5 for like a vinyl. I was like, man, this looks sick. I've never heard this band, but I'll take a chance. And like with that like vinyl stuff, a lot of the time, if it looks decent, it probably is.
I agree. And it's just cool to have a vinyl, some random thing.
Exactly. Especially with those like old school 70s psych and like psychedelic and prog rock bands. It's like there's a good chance it'll be decent.
Yeah.
But we'll let you guys go because we kept you for a while. So just last question is for anyone who wants to follow you and listen to your music, where are the best places to do that?
You can do that on Bandcamp, on Spotify, on YouTube. But if you just go to paroxysmalbutchering.bandcamp.com, or just even our link tree, if you want to look up our link tree, it's just Linktree/Paroxysmal Butchering or Paroxysmal Butchering/Linktree. It has all of our links there, and you will also find links. I'm just going to plug this real quick to my books that I wrote. You can find those as well on those links.
I did not know that you wrote books.
Oh yes, I've I've published 2 books, and I'm in the middle of writing my 3rd.
I think you might have mentioned that when we talked the other day about very briefly, but that's awesome. Like, what are they about?
They are short stories. They are centered around just dark humor. They center around homelessness and drug abuse and just all the ugliness of society and the things that basically people get brought to when they have nothing left.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
And what are they called?
It is called The Eastern Outskirts, and the first book is just called The Eastern Outskirts, and the second book is titled The Eastern Outskirts Nonstop Turbo Noir.
Go ahead. I was just going to ask, are they like physically published? Is it digital or?
Yeah, you can get them either for your Kindle or you can just buy copies of them. They're for sale on Amazon.
No shit.
Awesome. That's great. Should definitely check that out. Well,
Yeah,
thank you. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Josh.
Sorry, I just want to plug in some stuff of mine real quick.
Go ahead. Yeah, go nuts.
Yeah, so I've been working on a couple projects. Keep an eye and an ear out for the Brass Cats. They're a ska band from Escondido, and I just recorded their latest EP that'll be out very soon. Right now, I'm working with a band called Desiccation. Their full-length album will be out very soon as well. And next in line, I have Cephalopsy. I'm recording Cephalopsy's next album.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's definitely good.
Yep. That's all I got.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much to both of you for coming on the show. And so we also tried to sidetrack talking about San Diego's problems, but it's great having you on, and we'll definitely get you guys on again, maybe like sometime after the next album comes out, before the 5th one.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Thank
you so much for having us on.
Anytime.
Cheers.
Yeah. Have a good night, guys.
All right, you too. Thanks.
Thank you.
And for anyone listening at home, thank you so much for tuning in, and stay tuned next week for another guest.